Hey guys, it's Steve with Basketball with Steve. Who are the future NBA superstars? In other words, who is the future of the NBA? I have a short list of players, and a lot of you may not like what I have to say, and a lot of you may, just because you might disagree with what I have to say, but it's all good. So anyway, the future of the NBA. The first thing I would like to say, and let me know if you guys would like a separate video for this, but the Minnesota Timberwolves are the future team of the NBA. The amount of, draft picks they had, getting really good players, Andrew Wick, they're a really good team in the future. But I don't see anyone on that team becoming an NBA superstar. I see them becoming maybe a perennial all-star, maybe an all-star here and there, but I don't see any NBA superstars. I just see a solid core, sort of like the Spurs, except take out the Tim Duncan and you have Tony Parker and but you understand what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so who is the future of the NBA? First up, I say, is Russell Westbrook. Now, well, actually, let me rewind for a second. First up, I have to say Kevin Durant. And you guys are probably wondering, well, he's already an NBA superstar. Yes, I understand that, but the dude still has 8 years left in his prime. Meaning, he will be the future of the NBA when the torch is passed from LeBron to whoever it goes to. I predict it's going to be Kevin Durant. So it's going to go from LeBron to KD. And it's going to be Kevin Durant's league. Who else? Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, I think, is going to dominate in this league, and he's going to go down as one of the best players ever. He just, has to play more efficient, take smarter shots, and be a little more trustworthy and trust his teammates a little more down in crunch time. But he is the future, no doubt, in the NBA. Now let's talk about Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins. I think DeMarcus Cousins is also one of the future stars of this league, and I want to make it just to let you guys know what I'm trying to say when I'm talking about the future is, I mean, when it's time for Melo, LeBron, those type players, Wade, you know what I mean, when it's time for them to pass it, these are the players that are going to take it. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about rookies that are going to be superstars, So anyway, let's talk about DeMarcus Cousins, also known as Boogie. I think he is ready. He is ready to take the torch. Just one thing is holding his back, and that is his attitude. He needs to mature. He plays out there like a 13-year-old kid playing with his friends, getting mad, screaming, throwing balls, getting technicals in crunch time, getting technicals when his team needs him the most, getting kicked out of games. You really need to mature ASAP. And I guarantee you, he will become one of the best players in the world. He really does. He can dribble. He can actually shoot the basketball now, not from three, but mid-range jump shot. He can post you up. He's fast. He's athletic. He's extremely strong. He is Shaq combined with a Yao Ming combined with a Dirk Nowitzki, ESPN or anything. But Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless were saying that. This is 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They were saying in 3 years he'll be the best player in the world. That's not true. He's not even close to being the best player in the world. I can name maybe 10 players better than him, but he can develop into a top 5 player in the world eventually when that torch is eventually passed. I just don't see it coming anytime soon. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now. It pretty much, this is the situation. It's pretty much the same situation when LeBron, Wade, Melo, and Bosh came in the NBA, and Chris Paul, because Chris Paul came 2 years after. It's pretty much the same exact situation. They were still amazing players when they were young, but the better players were still Kobe. And D-Wade's case was kind of different, but the better players were still Kobe, Tim Duncan, Allen Iverson. That's the way it was. Tracy McGrady. Those were the better players. Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. Those were the better players. Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki. But it's sort of the same situation, except I don't see Anthony Davis going down as an all-time great. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will. But again, it's sort of that same situation. And then eventually the torch will be passed. So Anthony Davis is. I see him being, an incredible player in the future. Hopefully, I wish him the best. Next up, Kristaps Porzingis. Now, the thing about Kristaps Porzingis is I'm kind of on the fence. Here's why. I know he only played one season, but here's why. His rookie season, he had an incredible year. However, he's incredibly inconsistent. There will be games where he'll dominate, dunk on people's heads, have confidence, give me the ball, give me the goal, he'll call for the ball, he'll go to the ball, and then there will be other games where he's scared to touch the ball. I remember once, it was earlier in the year, Kristaps Porzingis had an amazing game. They played the Miami Heat the game after, and Chris Bosh embarrassed him. He jab stepped to the right and drove left and smashed it on his head. And when Bosh came down, Kristaps Porzingis also came down and he buckled. His knees buckled and he fell to the floor. And he looked really embarrassed. And then, like, literally, he lost confidence the entire game. Next game, he played terrible. It's like, you know, that's the one thing. Like, mentally, I'm uncertain about him. You know, and I'm a Knicks fan. However, if put under the correct development system, correct coaches, correct players around him, I can see him becoming a Dirk Nowitzki type player. Now, you never want to compare someone directly with someone saying, oh, he's the next, you know, Dirk, or he's, you know, but I see his play style can be extremely close to Dirk. You know, young and athletic at first, and then eventually, when he eventually really hits his prime, his athleticism will decline, which usually happens with all stars and with all NBA players. His athleticism will slightly decline, and he'll have to use his footwork, his jump shot, his post game. Like, he needs to add some muscle too. But those are the future stars that I can really see. You know, maybe Dame Lillard's up there, John Wall. To be honest, a lot of people think Stephen Curry is the future, but I don't. I see Curry having a few good more years. Here's the thing, and this is what separates Ray Allen and Stephen Curry, in my opinion. And this is why I think Ray Allen was a way better player than Curry was. Ray Allen did the same exact thing Stephen Curry did. The same exact thing in his prime back in Seattle. You don't believe me? Look at his numbers before he went to Boston. The season before, he was averaging like 26 points per game. And he was doing that consistently throughout his career. The only difference is Stephen Curry, you know, with all the development of technology, media, like, he has players now get more hyped up than back then. So Ray Allen was doing the same thing. The only difference is Ray Allen started off earlier doing the same thing. Stephen Curry only had 2 good seasons in the NBA. He's been in the league for a while now. You know, I can understand the injuries, but come on now, you know? So, you know, I only see a few good more years left for Stephen Curry. Maybe 3-4 years left. Maybe less. And then he's going to be a Ray Allen type spot-up shooter like Ray Allen was in his post-prime era, which nothing is wrong with that. You can still get paid, but I don't see Curry going down as one of the greatest players ever, like some people are saying. I don't see him being the future of the NBA because he's already like 28 years old, you know? It'd be different if he was like 23 doing what he's doing, but the dude is 28 years old. He's been in the league for a long-ass time now. When was he drafted? 2008? 2009? You know? That's a long time, man, but anyway, it's been Steve, Basketball with Steve. Those are the future stars of the league, in my opinion. Obviously, the best is going to be Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Boogie, Anthony Davis, James Harden. I forgot to talk about James Harden. James Harden is definitely up there. But anyway, let me know. Obviously, Dame Lillard, John Wall. There's a lot, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This video was recommended by someone. His name is Paul George. Kind of weird, but anyway, let me know what you guys think. Peace.